Hey everybody, welcome back to Runecast. It has been a long time. Gonna get some sage going from my runic apothecary. I have been out for quite some time. My family and I were in the process of a move that forced me to pack everything up, and we tried to move to another location. Things didn't work out, and thank goodness they didn't. But we were trying. We were trying to affect a change in our lives, and what we thought would be better for us ended up not being better for us. And so we are back where we started, and I must say we are very happy to be back. It felt comfortable here, it felt right here. The vibe here at our house was immense and very positive. And where we went, just everywhere we looked, everywhere we turned, we felt a lot of negativity, and it was kind of sad and oppressive in a lot of ways. And once we realized that things would have been better if we'd stayed, why we decided to stay. When we were doing readings, Hagalahs kept coming up again and again and again. We're going through this change, and we kept thinking, the change was going to be for the better. And ultimately, it really was. To end up back here where we were, where the energy is so good, the light, we're looking at natural light coming in right now. And it was just really inspirational what happened to us along the way. So it's been several months. I've been away. I've picked up a few subscribers. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed the content. There was plenty of videos for you to go back and watch. Anybody that's new to the channel. But for those of you that have been with me a while, thank you for sticking with me. Part of this channel was going to be about the books and all about how incredible the books have been in my journey with the runes, and I hope to share all of that with you. But as I unpack my rune supplies, there were some that I took with me, and you're looking at them. I took the sacks, I took a set of runes, I had my staves with me, and I had a few assorted herbs from the apothecary. Not a whole bunch, but of course you got to take the white sage for the algae and everything that happens. Of course, I took the goddess with me, and this set of rune stones, and a little set of staves that were cut from the bush out front. So all of that went with me, and the runes kept me company. I had my carving tools and a few other things, but I'm about to unpack the runic books. I thought it'd be kind of cool to pull them out of the box after like 6 months and see which ones came up where. But when I pulled the stones out of the bag, we had some things about our house that I really wanted to do a working on. And so as I pulled the runes out of the bag, I was looking for these two runes. So of course I set them aside. But then I pulled these out in order as they came out, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to look at a general reading of all 24 as they came out of the bag when we returned, and I was at the altar, and I was like, okay, here we go. So it definitely kind of tells the story of the last 6 months, and we're in a kind of a stasis, a self-preservation really, but the energy, and Rideho is more like the return, a reunion, a reunion in the journey to joy, balance, creativity, power, the connection and the voice of ourselves and the creators giving us protection and protecting us for that time period. The need for change was there, but then, the partnership, which is what Ehwaz really represents, for the three of us to get together and work in strength to bring the fertility and the strength and the self-defense to our victory, our transformation, and the amount of time, the gestation of Berkano and the mother goddess being with us, the mystery and the casting of lots of Pertho. We took a chance to go out there and come back, but we found our spirit, our soul, and were able to reflect on ourselves and be. It was really an introspective time for us. So Manaz was really key, I thought. So just kind of interesting how that layout came. The first, first sort of rune cast, and it wasn't even really meant to be a rune cast, but I will let you know that, whenever you go to the runes, particularly sometimes I would do this kind of as a game or whatever. I'd be trying to write down all 24 runes, and then one would not come to mind immediately, and that one always had a message for me. And so really the spontaneity of pulling them out of the bag just then, because I was looking for those two that had to deal with our house and our finances, and how I wanted to work something in that regard in our favor. So I was just pulling them out, and how they fall and how they came out of the bag can be very important. You might try that at home and kind of see what you think, how that comes out, or leave a comment below. Have you ever just been, fumbling around with some of your materials that you're working with, and all of a sudden a rune comes out and it speaks to you? That's really, really important. So I'm going to move these off to the side and open up this box, and this won't be a very long video, but I'm just going to start pulling out some of the books, because you know how important the rune books are to me. They have been my friends through my journey for decades. And of course I took several books with me, or a few key ones. Can you imagine which ones I took from my book reviews? The ones I took I have all reviewed on this channel. I took Leaves of Yggdrasil by Freya Oswin, of course, my favorite rune book. I took Idrid Thorson's Futhark. I took, what else did I take with me? I took Diana Paxson's Taking Up the Runes. I took that one with me as well. I love that one. It's like a modern masterpiece, drawing from all the books that, here's a casting cloth right on the top of the box. And right up front, the first one from my Idrid Thorson library, Rune Might. This book, very interesting. If you're into the very esoteric part of the runes are esoteric in nature, but Idrid really dives deep in this book. This book is just really, it was really a fun read. There's even some music in there for the traditional Yodas or the Galder bind runes. Very, very groovy book. You can see I've gone to it again and again. Let's see what page I have marked. I have a marked page in this. One of the more interesting parts of this book is the group rituals, the exercises for 2 Runesters, which is very unique. You won't find that in any other book. So if you're interested in that and you have a good Runester partner, you might take a look at that. Very good. The 9 Doors of Midgard. This is one as a young Runester I went to again and again to, kind of like an apprenticeship if you will, on how to be an effective runester. Nine Doors of Midgard takes you through the 9 doors, the 9 realms, with exercises, meditation, and helps to bring you into a greater understanding of the runes. So that one is amazing. I have the Have 'em All, Jackson Crawford's edition, so that one is really cool. What else comes out? Michael Howard's Understanding the Runes. I have about 2 or 3 from him. Very good author on the runes. Here's another Michael Howard, Understanding the Runes. I wonder if it's 2 of the same. You know, I went through this period where there weren't that many rune books. When you go to the esoteric section of the bookstore, there weren't that many. There was always a handful, and I would just buy whatever. I wonder, it's got to be the same. I guess I have 2. They're just 2 different editions. But very cool. Michael Howard. He wrote several books on the runes. This one is one that you don't see very often. Runes for Today's Woman. This one was really cool. Of course, you know, I love the rune books when they're from the female perspective, because I think that women have a lot to add to it. And you can see this old business card from Ancient Ways in Oakland, California. That was one of my go-to places, magic shop you might call it, where I would pick up my books and my supplies. Ancient Ways, very famous. I don't know if they're still in business. I hope they are. Goddess Runes, this is one I have not read, but I think I started going into it, and I'm not going to comment. No, there's actual runes in there. There's a couple of books that have runes in the title, and then you open it up and you see it's really not about the runes. What they call are runes are not what you and I call runes. But no, this looks like a genuine book. Okay. Note to self. Let's read that one. Classic. H.R. Ellis Davidson, right? Gods and Myths of Northern Europe. And you've got to have that book in your collection if you want to understand the mythology. Goes hand in hand with Jackson Crawford's Have 'em All and all the scripts. Let's see what else comes out here. I have some more supplies. I went through this bag, the ancient old bag from my old days, the Crown Royal bag with rune supplies in there. Let's see, what else do I have in the box? This one I've reviewed, Rune Magic by Donald Tyson. Of course, it has my favorite form of casting on the cover, which is the staves on the white cloth. That's very special to me. Rune Power. This is one I haven't read yet either. I picked it up recently at Half Price Books. Kenneth Meadows. So I've got some reading to catch up on, don't I? And we'll pull out a couple more, and that'll be about it for this video. Look at this one. I don't know if any of you have ever seen The Rites of Odin by Ed Fitch. This one was really great for me. It came out in the 90s. This one was kind of like a little bit of a Bible for the practice of things, because it has all the celebrations in here, or an outline for celebrations that you could embark on. All the feasts, all of the the eightfold wheel as it's celebrated in the old pagan ways, with scripts, and it was really like an outline for a congregation of runesters. I found that fascinating because I knew of nobody else that practiced runes like I did, and so this was very inspirational to me. I loved the different celebrations that they outlined in here. There's a wedding celebration if you were going to be uniting two in union. all kinds of coming of age, right? All kinds of stuff like that. This was just really a cool book for me to kind of fantasize about, like if I were ever, involved in a whole congregation of Runesters and pagan folk who, wanted to celebrate together. So that was really cool. Some of the other stuff from the Rune Library. Concise edition of Old English Runic transcriptions by Stephen Flowers, also known as, I'll give you a minute, the pen name of one Edred Thorson. They are one and the same. So these are little pamphlets that I had, but these are really cool. They're ancient. Well, this one's about 25 years old, published in 99. And then these old volumes of Yggdrasil from 1992. This little handmade pamphlet was so cool. Like the people that put this together are just awesome. Back in the day before the internet, you could go to your local magic shop and they might have this on the shelf. I have a couple of editions of it. There's number 1 and number 2, so those are really groovy. I said I had a couple from Tony Willis. Here's another one of Tony Willis, Understanding the Power of the Runes. That's a good book. What else is in here? Lady of the Northern Light by Susan Eimer. This one is really cool. Also from the female perspective, like I like, right? There's so much from the male perspective in runes and rune working, but always interesting to get the female perspective. So anytime a book comes out by a female author, I try and pick it up. This is great to get that perspective as well. So anyway, thank you for joining me on this little journey of unpacking, and I hope to get back into more regular videos soon. I will see you on the next video.